Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian welcoming you to a new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 21 with the Baltimore Orioles. Um, this is going to be the first episode I've done in a while for this series where I'm going to try to play the entire season in one episode. Someone made a comment about that either last week or the week before, and I kind of like the idea. And the reason I wasn't doing it before was to both save my voice and because I thought people wouldn't find it that interesting. But maybe I'm wrong. This is going to be an interesting season, not the least of which because we've replaced a significant portion of our offense. If we look at and I don't know if this is going to work yet, because it might not work until the first game of the season is over with, but we're going to check. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't know that my lineup has changed, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sim one game and see if it makes a difference. If it doesn't, then I'll go back and go from there. Personal message. Oh, nice. Steve Willick got like a significant amount better. Very nice. Bob Solis looks pretty solid, as does Everman. Luis Amaya improved in a few areas. Which is nice. I'd still like to see more, but I think he is reaching the point where I can consider him in the future. We've got a couple other starters that are improving a bit. Very nice. Now, we have won our game. Clearly, we should only assume that we won 162 games. Does it update the positional starters for 2033 now? It does. Great. So you'll notice it randomly considered Solis the starter, but I get why, because it must win the base lefty the first day of the season. But yeah, we've got Rushman, who is our one constant. Tharp has never started. Burns has never started. We have Corona Jr. back. Moreno's never started. Perez has never started. And Doug Smart has never started. Sorry, he did actually start last season, if we're being fair. So this is obviously going to be a team in transition. Hedbert Perez, you're literally only playing because you're kind of acceptable, not because you're great. And especially if Amaya keeps developing, you'll probably get replaced sooner rather than later. But I'm not that picky about who does what as long as we all play good baseball. But yeah, we replaced a ton of players this season. And it's going to be interesting to see what we can manage. Because we're not really rebuilding, we're reloading. I'm hoping that we can stay competitive through our rebuild. Alright, Pat Wendt. I'm going to call you back up so I can send Mike Everman back to AAA. Because in terms of defense, you're everything I want in a backup. Went. It is all went all the time. There we go. Because Everman is quite possibly a starting second baseman or shortstop in the near future. We can have Danny Huaracha back. I don't really think he's useful. I really don't. I'm going to trade you and see if I can get... what's going on here? Oh, you know what? I had briefly set this as an online league. I'm wondering if it also set me up as a commissioner. Let's find out. Yeah, because it's letting me be in commissioner mode. Let me quickly fix that. Enable. And then disable. I'm hoping that'll fix it. I'm trying to remember where it puts the commissioner mode option. Rules, options, players, historical. Sorry, this was not my intent to get sucked into this. I'm not sure why it's still saying I'm in commissioner mode. I know why. I just don't know how to turn it off. Yeah, see, you can see there's all this stuff here that only appears in online. Here it is. Boop. Off. There we go. I can no longer clone players. As much as I'd like to clone players, but I can't. But yeah, Everman has more of a future on this team than Wentz does because he's such a good second baseman or shortstop that I think he could handle either role. And we're going to trade Danny Huaracha for literally the first thing someone offers me that looks like a prospect. Because I just don't see the point in keeping him around anymore. Because he's a fairly okay second base or center fielder. And we're not getting any offers. And to be honest, I'm not surprised. Can I just send you to AAA? Oh, good. It looks like I can. Alright. But yeah, he is definitely on his way out. And I'm going to go ahead and put him on the block. And if someone wants to offer for him, they can have him. Ooh, look at Danny Moreno. Nice. Now this, my friend, is a pretty fine start to the first 2 weeks of your major league career. I feel pretty confident in saying that. I mean, is he going to have 14 WAR by the end of the season? I doubt it, but I'm looking forward to seeing him step forward. Okay, so you're going to offer me a bad first baseman for a pitcher that is not bad. No, thank you. I'm not saying I wouldn't actually promote you at some point. I just want you to work a bit on your control. Are there any relievers that are actually bad? Not really. That's kind of the world we live in right now. Okay. We just won 15 fucking game, or 15 runs in one game. Oh no, not Dan Swan. Why do I even care about you? Oh, you must have been one of the people I thought about drafting at one point. I'm glad I didn't. Okay. Let's check out that 15 runs that we scored right here. Look at us utterly dominate Minnesota. That's pretty fantastic. We had 4 home runs. Very nice. Chris Thomas turned in another solid effort. Our bullpen got the job done. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, there was a thing that actually made us stop, but I don't remember what that is right now. Oh, I know. It was Brandon Hendricks getting hurt. That's fine. I'm not even going to put him on the DL. I'll just let another starter take his place. I'm so trained on the other OTP series. I was like, where are the Orioles? I'm like, oh, they're on the left-hand side because they're in the American League. That's right. Player development. This is somewhat concerning. If he can't play shortstop very well, his value is significantly worse. A bit of a decline across the board. I'm not liking that. Sonny Hoskins got better. Luis Amaya improved his contact, but only potential. John Rivera is still not capitalizing on his promise. That's not reassuring at all. But Moreno is hitting at 435, so you know what? That fixes a lot of problems. So many problems. Who is Joe Regal? I see. I drafted you in the 10th round, and you're pretty terrible, so that's fine. Let's maybe get another month in before we look and make any changes. Could have Brian Mapp back in our lives. He is a pretty good reliever. Are any of my relievers badly struggling right now? Castillo, I think I'm going to send you back to the minors because you still have so much room to develop. Oh, but you're also... How long have you actually pitched in AAA? Like 9 innings. Yeah, I think you can go back to AAA for a bit, and then I can activate Brian Mapp. What is going on here? Andy Neal, I'm promoting you, and Tyler Brown to set up. Brown and Neal, you can both come in the 7th inning for now. It's not a huge sample size, I understand that, but I think it's still good enough for now. Wow, like my entire rotation is pitching really badly all of a sudden. Like, apart from Chris Thomas and Steve Willett, the rest of the rotation is just having some serious issues start the season. Huh. What is your deal, Martin Herrera? Have they been letting you face righties again? Game. He's a specialist. He should never be facing right-handed pitching. Ugh. Yeah, this is very troubling that the entire rotation, except for Steve Willett of all players, looks kind of crappy. But maybe this will improve. Maybe this is just like... Yeah, it looks like we got maybe smacked around by a couple of hitters. Let's just let sleeping dogs lie right now. Offense is looking pretty good. How in the hell does Chris Tharp have 13 home runs in May? Like, what? What is going on with this season? What? How does Adley Rutschman have 9 home runs in May? What is with this season? Okay. We're just going to keep going. I'm just going to ignore what I'm seeing so far. Sample sizes, friends. They can be mighty small. Let's just advance and see what happens here. Micah Burns, you broke a rib. I don't like that, and I wish you hadn't. I mean, Jared Boyd is at least a capable third baseman, but then again, so is Went. Actually, no, Boyd is actually better. Yeah, let's go ahead and call up Boyd, and let's shift him to third. And then I'm just going to plug him in as the everyday third baseman. Like, I know he's not really ready, and he's never really hit in the minors, but I don't mind. I want to keep the defense together. And when we have our second baseman randomly hitting 13 home runs, man, you jerks. 32 games. Oh well. This might just be one of those weird seasons where everyone just hits all of the home runs. Which is a bad look for our team, because our team has some pretty significant issues. Nothing too surprising here. End of the month. Player development. Dave Mayer's getting a bit better. He's not the center field I really care about, though. Jordan Diaz keeps improving. This is really good news because we definitely need another third baseman. You're already on I Control You, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, if you can get your contacts sorted out, you are another deadly weapon for us to deal with. I tried to trade Josh Roberts. And what did I get for you? Good old Hedbert. That's right. Alright. So the pitching staff's ERA is starting to improve a bit, except for Luciano, which is disconcerting. But yeah, we're back to right about where we should be. And I don't know what's going on with Martin Herrera. I just want it to stop. Please. I'm very pleased with our team so far. We are having an issue, though, and I think I need to make a move. Adley Rutschman is overexposed hitting second, if this is how he's going to hit. I appreciate his power, but if he's not getting on base... And I think Grulon is starting to slip a bit, too. Let's see if his contact picks back up before I make any sudden judgments about him. Santoya, Moreno, and Smart are all playing very well indeed, as is Daniel Corona Jr. I don't know what Chris Tharp's deal is, but as long as he keeps hitting homers, I'm not going to argue with him. Like, I mean, he did hit 20 home runs, right? How bad is he at second? He's acceptable. Okay. I'm not keeping you, I don't think. I think, Hedbert, this is a one-year only thing. How is Amaya doing in AAA? He's kind of dominating. I just need that tiny improvement in contact hitting. That's what's got me concerned. And his potential is getting better. He's just not translating into actual contact ability. Because if he can hit for contact and he has the rest of this skill set, it's off to the races with Amaya next season. Salinas, I don't know what to do about you. Especially if Chris Tharp keeps hitting home runs. Like, As much as I like you, and as much as I have kind of invested in your success, you're merely a pretty good second baseman. If Chris Tharp keeps hitting homers this season, I don't see how I can bench him. I just don't see it. Now, obviously, lots of things can happen, right? But right now, he looks pretty damn good. So we're going to have to think about that one. How is Solis? Hey, you know what? For a guy hitting part-time to generate this kind of ability, I'm pretty excited about that. And Santoya is maybe like 1% worse than he's been in the past, but he still looks awfully good to me. I kind of wish I hadn't signed him to such an expensive contract with Solis, but I never expected that he would take over the way that he has. He's actually really capitalized on his value. And while he's not a great hitter in terms of discipline, he's still a very good hitter. And we might have a situation where probably Solis becomes the everyday designated hitter and we move on from Grulon. But we've got a fair bit of offensive talent on this team, and I'm pretty excited about that. And it's only going to get better when I can move on from Hedbert Perez. Not that I have a problem with Hedbert, except for his stupid name. But yeah, that's where we are right now. Alright, so the thing I wanted to do is I want to bump Adley Rutschman in the lineup. But maybe I should just leave it like it is, right? I mean, he's hitting home runs. He's just not doing a great job of getting on base because his contact looks like garbage. And that is becoming a pretty big flaw in his game. For sure. But I also don't really have anyone else that I want to promote. Because no one else is great at getting on base either. Hedbert Perez is okay, I guess. I mean, you're literally a one and done. I'm not bringing you back for all the tea in your favorite country that produces tea. China is, you know, the standard response, but right. So I guess I just leave the lineup as it is. It is the number 2 lineup in the majors. And maybe I just need to accept that this is as good as it gets. And we'll go from there. Draft time. I would really like a catcher. Maybe even 2 in this draft. But I also can't be too picky, right? Oh gosh. This is like a garbage draft, isn't it? Like, there's no way even a mediocre player is going to fall to me. I'm going to have to get lucky and just pick the right guy. Alright. Is there a decent catcher in this draft? There's Mike Kelly, and then there's a couple of mediocre ones behind him. I'm not going to use a first-round pick on any of these jamokes. So let's go to best player available. Dan Nelson looks like a pretty great reliever who might become a starter. I'm not that impressed by that. I kind of like Dan Elliott, and I think we'll probably draft him. I think he's got enough raw talent that he could be a very solid starting pitcher. So we're going to go ahead, unless Nate Lang is better. He has many things, but better is not one of them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to select us, get ourselves some Dan Elliott in our lives. I need to make sure we get a bit of, save a bit of money, so I'm going to go ahead and take Greg Ruiz in the second round. Now, I like Jimmy Blake's bat, and maybe he just needs to find a position. I'm frankly willing to try it. I don't mind getting a higher upside type. There's also Frank Arango. Actually like him better. Like, he doesn't have quite the upside, but he's got a more well-rounded skill set. And players that play second base and the outfield are not easy to find. So I'm going to go ahead and draft good old Frankie boy here. I think I will take Blake. He's got enough raw potential, and he's so young that he could pretty much be anything or nothing. But I am down for trying that one out. Why do we have 2 third-round picks in a row? I'm not sure. No John Anderson. Yeah, none of those guys. You know, Mike Kelly is the best catcher in the draft. Let's go ahead and take him. I love his bat. I don't love his glove. But I think Mike Kelly has the chance to be a very useful player. Alright. We've had good luck with center fielders named Amaya, right? So let's take this one too. Auto draft. I look at this pitcher and I see a maybe okay starter, but a pretty okay reliever. That's a pretty good value for a 5th round pick. And then I kind of don't care anymore. I'm going to let my scouting director finish the rest of the draft because I trust him. We are going to pay a bit of a premium for Mr. Elliott, but I'm hoping that we have enough money to manage it anyway. I'm just going to offer them all their demands. It's a bit of an exploit, but it is just a thing where the owner will allow you to pay anyone that's under slot. Yeah, he won't approve that. That's fine. You can get the slot and no more. And if you don't sign, you don't sign. I don't really care that much. There we go. Our biggest issue is our payroll. It really is. And it's not going to get better anytime soon, I don't think. Unless they do things like get people to sign longer deals or something like that. Alright, bro. Okay, so you will actually sign for your arbitration amount. Can I get a 4-year deal out of you? And I'll even bump up your salary a couple of million each year. No, he doesn't want one. That's alright. I gotta be able to get Chris Thomas to sign, right? That's gotta be a thing he's willing to do. Come on, I believed in you when no one else would. I think that has earned me some consideration. Damn it, Thomas. Can I get at least 4 years and at least buy out the rest of your arbitration bullshit? Nope, they're all being greedy bastards. And I guess I can't blame them for it. I mean, I can, but... yeah. And then I've got Chris Tharp, who all of a sudden, because he's hitting like 1,000 home runs, looks like he's the greatest second baseman in history. I'm not convinced that this is going to last, but I guess we'll just ride it out and see what happens. Honestly, what I might have to do is I might have to decline Luciano's option. He's having a pretty damn rough year. Like, I don't want to overreact to one season, but he's not doing great. And we always knew he'd be kind of an awkward fit because of his penchant for giving up home runs. But the problem is he's also allowing more walks. He's just worse across the board. And if I'm going to be a playoff team, I can't afford to have that big an amount of money signed to a subpar performer. I just can't. Now, I do have a couple of other interesting decisions to make. We have 2 or 3 reasonably interesting starting pitchers that could maybe fill in for part of Luciano. I could opt out of... I'm just kidding. I would never opt out of Jack Leiter's contract. I want to sign him to an even bigger contract if I can get him to do it. Can I? Oh, that's right. I just can't afford it. I might have to find a way to make myself afford it, which is going to hurt every other part of our game, but it is what it is. Yeah, well, I don't care that you're not satisfied. I'm not satisfied that you're a whiny little bitch. I'm offering you lots of money. If you don't like it, you can lump it. Man, I don't even know if I want to think about a Baltimore Orioles team that doesn't have Jack Leiter on it. But maybe that is what I have to start thinking about, right? Oh, very nice. Alright, let's look at the prospect game roster. Who do we got from Baltimore? We've got Mike Kessler. I don't even know who you are. Which probably doesn't speak well of me, but that's fine. Luis Amaya is having a pretty good season in AAA. And Chris Brandt. I had 3 minor league all-stars. That's pretty neat. What about the actual all-star game? Jack Leiter made it because, of course, he did. Andy Neal made it. As did Brendan Hirschauer, Adley Rutschman, Danny Moreno. Unfortunately for Chris Tharp, there's Chris Gill, who basically is Chris Tharp, but better. So he got kind of left off the list, but damn if he isn't having a great season. Okay. How does the AI find all of these players that all hit like ridiculous numbers of home runs and I just can't do it? Like, there is nothing separating him from Danny Moreno in terms of raw talent. There just isn't. But for some reason, because he plays for someone other than Baltimore, he hits ridiculous quantities of home runs. Like, whatever, dude. I don't even care. I do care. But I'm saying I don't care so that I don't have to cry myself to sleep tonight. Like, I get that Edward Morales is interesting, some of you folks, but I also don't have a reason to give him to you. Why am I still on the hook for Nicholas Mills' contract? Is he even on the roster? Like, I don't get it. How am I on the hook for someone's contract if I don't even have him? Oh, he's in AAA. Got it. Okay. Man. Jack, why do you have to be so good? I'm really actually a little bit annoyed that my owner is still being such a tight fist. He's 76, maybe he'll die soon. That'd be pretty great. Okay, look, stop offering me bad players for Edward Morales. I'm not saying I won't trade him, I'm saying I'm not going to trade him for that. You know what, Dave Jackson? I think it's time to move on from you. Ever since you've gotten injured, you haven't been terribly interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and designate you for assignment. No. If someone else claims him, they can have him. He liked Doug Smart. He likes improving my money. I do have to make some personnel decisions here. Man, I don't have anyone in the top 10. But I saw the number 6 minor league system, which is good. Alright, first of all, minor league coaches, you know the drill. You can never leave. Major league coaching roster. Espada's good at player relationships. He's not great at player development. But I think Kevin Cash is even worse. Like, all the pitchers hate him. And that's what makes Espada a bit more useful to me. So you can have an extension. Peter Woodworth. You're not really helping me develop anyone. Most of my pitchers are actually not power pitchers. So I might actually let you walk at the end of this contract. Although, I mean, we have had one of the best rotations in the majors every year that you've been along. Maybe I'm being too hard on you and I should just keep the band together. I think I will, actually. Cool. Cool. On we go. I don't really care. Player development. Will it slipped a tiny bit? Rushman improved his contact, which is nice. Solis got better. Santoya got worse. But he's still hitting great, though, is the thing. Moreno is improving his current contact. You're going to be another guy who's going to command a very large salary someday, Mr. Moreno. Jordan Diaz is really making improvements in his game. I don't see Amaya's name on it. Oh, here it is. His current contact is improved. His eyes improved. He's a little bit worse defensively. Is it time to call up Amaya? How is Hedbert doing? He's not great, but he's not bad either. Okay, you're actually not a great center fielder. Is it Amaya time? Hell, more importantly, is it time to promote Jordan Diaz? Where is Diaz? What level are you on, Jordan Diaz? You're in Double A. I mean, you 100% earned a promotion to Triple A. I think that goes without saying. You are also injured, which makes me sad, but I'm still promoting you anyway. Yeah, right now, I think Amaya offers us the best chance to win. Like, Perez is just worse in every conceivable way. So I'm going to try to trade Perez and see what I can get for him. I'm getting offers. I'm getting Ignacio Lasso. You're quite a good hitter, actually. I just don't really have a spot for you. Because I have a multitude of first basemen. You know, Josh McClain is not a bad choice. What if I just look at catchers? McClain is a 40. Is anyone approaching that level? Andres Rosas is actually a little bit of a better hitter. Oh, but I could get Tim Williams. Or Chris Gorg. What a great name. Alright. Between Williams and Arias, who's the better player? Arias is younger. He's got good discipline, decent power. That hasn't really translated to success in the minors yet, but maybe it will. Williams has a much better minor league track record. Like, it's a lot better. So I think we're going to trade for Tim Williams and see if I can maybe get another player thrown in. What about a Sal Vasquez? You're going to tell me to go fuck myself, I bet. That's fine. Ooh, can I get you to take Dave Jackson too? Just so I don't have to deal with his salary. Let's make this a straight salary dump, right? Let's get rid of Nicholas Mills too. Now we can keep Mills. I'll take this deal. Amaya, it is your time to shine. Welcome to the big leagues. The boys growing up. Remember when we got Amaya in international free agency? You've come a long way, my friend. I'm eager to see you dominate in the major leagues. I feel bad about Solis. And I think it's time for me to get over my fascination with Grulon. Okay, do we have another right-handed first baseman? I mean, surely I can find one on the trade market, right? Hell, I can even play Grulon at first base if I need to. But right now, your playing is keeping Solis from playing. So we're going to go ahead and swap roles. I'm going to go ahead and make you a first baseman. Solis, you're my starting DH now. You're just that damn good. And then Grulon is going to back up. Like, do I necessarily want Solis to be my leadoff guy? Not really, but he's also so damn amazing that I have no problem doing it. So, yeah. That's the new rule. Solis. This can actually stay as is. I won't change this part. But, yeah, I need Solis to be batting every day. He's too good to be kept contained. Ah, Santoya. What a guy. What a guy. There we go. Changes have been made. Possibly, I'm almost positive that they're upgrades, actually. Oh, thank you, all of the fates. Thank you for getting Jared Boyd out of my everyday lineup. Oh, wow. Jared Boyd is actually a dick. Okay. Well, then. Oh, did you get hurt? Oh, we don't know what's going on with you yet. That's fine. Man, Tharp, my dude. You are such an obvious product of the Orioles team. Are you still playing? You're not playing great second base, but you're doing well enough. But man, I could probably sucker somebody into giving you, or into giving me something decent for Tharp. A herniated disc is not nice. I did not say you could be injured. And I distinctly recall telling you had to apply for that. If you wish to be injured, you must make a request. In triplicate. Alright, Alex Perez, you got your last chance, and you've been nothing but disappointing in the major leagues. Someone else wants to deal with you, great, but you are making my team worse. Any player you see fit, I want him off my fucking team. I'm tired of Alex Perez's garbage, and nobody wants you. Good. I will happily pass you through waivers, and if someone else takes you, you can be their problem. Amavisca, maybe? Amavisca, baby. Maybe. I'll promote Castaneda. Watch me. But no, I actually want him to get a little bit better, especially if he might end up being a starter. Do I have another decent relief pitcher? I probably should have checked that before I traded him, huh? I guess Amaviska can fill the job right now. You can step in and provide some middle relief. As long as these two are getting most of the innings, I'm going to actually have Amaviska be long relief emergency starter. I'm going to have Dozier shift into pure middle relief. If there's any one player on this team I feel kind of bad for because he keeps losing opportunities, it's him. But it's fine. I think Luciano is gone. And Hendricks might be gone too. Like, I know Hendricks has provided innings, and he hasn't been a total embarrassment, but I just don't think he's worth the money anymore. If I can bring him back for cheap, I might do it. I think Luciano's just gone. I know it's probably just a bad season, but this is right after being injured. And if it's between him or keeping some of the other important players on my team, it's not even a debate for me. You know what? I'm highly tempted to trade Morales just to get him off my team so people stop asking about him. Actually, that raises a great point. Give me Morales. And then Amaviska can continue to start in the minors. Because Morales is just going to be a middle reliever. That's it. And then let's turn you into a reliever. And I'll make you also a long reliever too. There we go. Let's continue. Oh, look, nobody wanted you, Alex Perez. Maybe you should stop sucking. I'm not opposed to trading Luciano, but I am opposed to trading him for nothing. And this is basically nothing. So here's what I'm thinking, right? We trade Luciano, we stick Bernal in the rotation, and just see what happens the rest of the season. Because the other thing I can do is I could... Oh, he's already received a qualifying offer, which means I can't even get a draft pick out of him. You've even been kind of crappy in the offseason. Fuck, maybe I do trade Luciano. So, okay, let's make kind of a pros and cons list here. The pro of keeping Luciano is that he might get better, maybe, especially with a better center fielder like Amaya. But the con is he hasn't been the same since he's been injured. He costs a stupidly huge amount of money. And whoa. Yeah, and although normally I would agree that like he's just not very good. His strikeouts have taken a tumble, his walks have gone up a lot. I'm going to kick the tires on a trade for prospects and just see what's being offered to me. It's mostly relievers. I can't say I'm totally shocked. It's also Mike Cooper. I mean, Cooper's fine. He plays three positions fairly well. He's got a potentially okay bat. Like, Cooper couldn't be the whole package, but as the start of a package, I could see this working. Alright. Can I get Mario Gomez? Almost certainly no. And I can't... Okay, Gomez is just not a possibility. Fair. Joe Whitaker doesn't throw strikes. Barea doesn't hit. I kind of like Jose Narvaez. Would you give me Narvaez too? No. Like, I know we're not getting much in return, but we're saving a crap ton of money though, is the thing. And unless you have like a major league ready third baseman, so I don't have to worry. I mean, you'd have Sal Stewart. But the thing is, no, I can't inherit that big contract. I can't do that. I mean, it kind of sucks that this is all we're getting for a pitcher that was once brilliant. But the alternative is I non-tender him and I get... Or not non-tender him, but the other alternative is I just buy out his option and I get nothing for him. Those are getting me something rather than nothing. And I think Cooper could be a potential starter at any one of three positions. I'm fine with that. Let's make the trade. I know that the fans are sad, but the fans will get the fuck over it because I'm telling them to. And then we call up Bernal is going to take a spot in the rotation. And then we will bring Amavisca back to be long relief emergency starter. There we go. I know to a lesser degree, I could make the same argument for Brandon Hendricks, but the difference is that I don't think I can get anything at all for Hendricks. And more significantly, I could at least make him a qualifying offer, potentially. I am not handing you half my team so that you can give me your center fielder. I now have $23 million for extension, so that was pretty smart. Alright, give me a 4-year deal. about that? Nope, you really want that arbitration money. How about Hirschauer? None of you will take a long-term deal. This greatly vexes me. The real question is, do I use this monetary savings and give Jack Leiter his contract extension? Or do I just wait? Because, like, I know Jack Leiter has taken a tiny bit of a hit this season. I'm not sure why, other than just his strikeout rate has dropped ever so slightly. His walk rate has crept up just a tiny bit. Like, we're talking, he's still an ace. He's just no longer the best pitcher in the major leagues. And even this year might be debatable. He is losing a tiny bit of his stuff, but other than that, he's just been so solid. Oh, this is actually on top of his existing contract. Okay. Then in that case, I am going to keep Leiter, and I'll decide what to do with him later. But it's nice to have monetary flexibility, though, so that I can re-sign people if I want to. I'm kind of tempted to trade Chris Tharp and play Victor Salinas, for the sole reason that there's no way in hell that he does this consistently. But on the other hand, he has a pretty substantial percentage of the team's home runs, and I don't want to risk losing that at the moment. So I guess we'll just sit tight and what the fuck, Amaya? How did you get hurt already? Vince Dorsey is fine, I guess. You're a bad player. Like, I don't understand why the AI would make this kind of offer. It's like, I'm giving you the worst player in the minor league system. How about a player who actually has a future? And it's just like, no, go fuck yourself. Why even make that offer? Are you shitting me, Amaya? I moved a lot of people out of the way for you, dude. And we're now super thin on outfielders. Andy Green, you're in. Play center field for 2 weeks, please. How can you injure your damn rotator cuff? I don't get it, but whatever, dude. You better not be made of glass, or I will be very unhappy with you. No, you're offering me Carter Young for a player who's actually roughly his equal. So no. Again, he's actually terrible. Okay, that one actually hurts a bit more. It does affect your base running, which is actually a large percentage of your value. But you're hitting so well that I think will keep you in the lineup for now. And then if you do have some injury issues, then we can go from there. Are you once again going to offer me the worst player on your team? For just, you know what? Just so you stop making stupid offers that piss me off, I'm just going to set him to untouchable. I get why you think Hoskins is available. It's because I think he's eligible for the Rule 5 and I haven't put him on my 40 man yet. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to. It just means I haven't yet. Declined. Can we please stop? Can you just stop asking constantly for like one or two different players? Like, I'm not even convinced Josh Rhodes can't be a starter. So I need you to stop asking about him. Unless I am damn good and ready to trade him myself. Okay, we get Amaya back. Andy Green. You know who I could trade? Now that I have Andy Green, I could trade Bobby Dwyer. And then I can keep Kerry Green as my fourth outfielder. Let's do it. Because he's going to cost me a good bit in arbitration, too. I'm going to look at starting pitchers. I'm going to look and see if I can get a veteran starter to help us for the playoffs. I can have Zach Trigaton, who is utter garbage. Can I have another position that might be still useful? Yikes. It's an awful lot of overpriced garbage is what it is. I'll just send Dwyer to the minors. Fuck it. And then I'll activate Amaya. Amaya, you're starting. That is your role in life. Your role is to impress me. And then Green is going to be the backup outfielder. Like, there's just no debate in my mind that Green is not as good as Dwyer and won't cost me like $4 million in arbitration. Is there anyone I do want to trade that I could actually get something for? Probably not. Probably not. Like, there is a 0% chance that Chris Tharp is my starting second baseman next season. Because we're a team that relies on good defense, which he doesn't have very much of. And even if he is hitting a bunch of home runs, I mean, it's only arbitration, so there's no reason to like get rid of him. And he is right-handed, so I could stick him at first base and have him be a platoon partner. I've got options of things to do with him. But if it's between keeping him or keeping other players on the roster, I'm going to keep the other players. All right, Chris Thomas, I need you to sign a new deal with me. I need market stability. And I'm going to do something I normally don't do. Normally, I don't offer $2 million increases between years, but that's where we are with you. And then you'll get 2 years at $10 million. Look at this deal you're getting. Take the fucking deal. God damn it. You're gonna kill me, Chris Thomas. And Brendan Hirschauer, I don't know what to do about you either. I do like Adley Rutschman a lot, but I think I'm gonna wait. And I think I'm gonna talk to him at the end of 2035. For a very critically super important reason. If it's between Leiter and Rutschman, you're gone. It's as simple as that. I love Adley Rutschman. He has been absolutely incredible for the Baltimore Orioles. I have no problem with the way he's played baseball for us, and if he wants to come back, I'll try to make it happen. But not at the expense of Jack Leiter. If I have to pick between the two of them, it's Leiter, and the game has to accept that. And I think that may very well be the choice that I have to make. Andy Neal's improved his control. Brian Mapp's improved his stamina. Moreno has lost a tiny bit of potential power, but is otherwise improved. Salinas has finally improved his contact. That's very good news. Dwyer's gotten worse. Who cares? Locke looks good. Rivera's just like ever so slowly improving, which is a good sign, obviously, but maybe not perfect. Okay. Solis is having an amazing fucking season. I am kind of annoyed that I'm being treated as a small market team, which Baltimore is not. This is just a weird thing where my owner is denying me the right to spend money. Because he's a dick. Brian Mapp is eager and ready to come back. Jose Castillo has been really bad. Now this is interesting. Martin Herrera, are you still appearing against right-handed pitching? Is that the issue that we're having? Now you may only have 3 innings against righties, but you've gotten destroyed. I don't know what to do about you, because you're very clearly not capable of handling right-handed batting, but the AI keeps putting you in. So I guess I need to start thinking about a replacement for you, because literally every time you face a right-handed bat, you get destroyed. And since all you are is just my anti-lefty guy, I'd want someone who can at least stay in the game a little bit if they had to. So this is probably it for you too. We don't know what's going on with the Dozers. Ooh, 3 homers for Doug Smart, who's also having a great season. You're always going to be an interesting player, but I think your ceiling is always going to be somewhat limited by the fact that you don't make contact consistently. Um, like you'll always have power, and for that reason, you'll always be a handy right fielder. But I could also probably do better under the right circumstances. It is what it is. Brandon Hendricks is going to miss 2 weeks. That's fine. Corona Jr. is going to miss 3 weeks. That's less fine. But you do give me an opportunity. And that opportunity's name is Mike Everman. I will happily bat Tharp 6th and let Everman play shortstop and hit 7th. Like, is Everman that good? I don't know, but I at least feel more confident letting him fill in for a bit. Ooh, Solis hit for the cycle and got 5 hits. Beautiful. Like, let's be clear on this. Danny Moreno has been fantastic this season, but he's gotten completely overshadowed by Bob Solis. But to have 2 hitters that turned out the way we wanted them to have Chris fucking Tharp be like, you know what? I'm just going to make every other hit a home run, and we'll see how that works. You're such a weird dude that I don't know what to do with you. But we'll figure something out. Adley Rutschman has still been productive for a catcher. Has he been amazing? No, but he's been productive. As he marches, there we go, regular season. As he marches ever closer to Hall of Fame status. I think if Rutschman gets 400 homers and finishes anywhere near 2,000 hits, that I think he's probably a shoo-in. That's my opinion. I think this combination of offensive and defensive talent is just a little bit too good to be left out of the Hall. Even if I agree that his hit totals haven't been that impressive, I think by the time he retires, he's got a good shot at making the Hall of Fame. Just based on his peak. His peak is pretty damn high. I think the Chris Thomas experiment has been one of the most successful experiments we've ever had with OOTP. And that he's turned into a very dependable starting pitcher. And look, Rocky here might not be fantastic, but he's certainly better than Luciano. Looks like he might get one more start. That's fine. Is it Solis again? It is. Alright. Is there anybody that I would like to call up for the stretch run? Is that player Jordan Diaz? Let's give him a cup of coffee in the majors. Because Burns is garbage. All Diaz has to hit is at least as well as Burns, and then we look fine. Oh, sorry. You slide in there. And then we'll go ahead and slide in Burns as a utility guy. There we go. Is there any other player I'd like to call up with my extra slot? Probably another pitcher. I don't know, dude, what to do about you, Castillo, except maybe just leave you in AAA for all of next season. I mean, Matt Lonson has certainly earned something. I think maybe Castaneda, just because he can throw a lot of innings for us, and I think he's got some potential. So let's do it. Let's call up Castaneda, and you're going to be a long reliever emergency starter also. Willett, you're fine. Willett, I think you've probably earned a fifth starter's role on this team. Hendricks, I think you're done. I think I go ahead and deny you your option. And if you want to come back for super cheap, then you can. But I think you've done what you can. All right, Jack Leiter. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm benching you for 2 weeks. 14. I will shut you down for the rest of the season. Because if you got a blister, I need you for the playoffs. If there's any shred of us advancing in the playoffs, and I think we pretty much guaranteed it. Doug Smart, I'm less concerned about you. You're a jerk, Willie Moreno. You need to stop hitting so much so that... Oh, come on, game. Okay, so we've already clinched a playoff spot. We get Corona Jr. back, which is lovely. Do I have you go ahead and rehab? I think I do, and let me tell you, I'm really regretting that extension I signed him to. We might actually try to trade him in the offseason. Go ahead and just rehab in the minors. I'm willing to let Everman stick at shortstop for at least the rest of the season and see how he handles it. Like, I know Everman isn't great, but he doesn't have to be great. He just has to be reasonably good. Okay, well, since you've retired, let's go ahead and promote. Let's just start shifting people up a level. So you should be hitting coach for Delmarva. And then I'm going to promote Chris Duncan to New York Penn League. Hitting coach for Low A Aberdeen. There we go. And I will happily go ahead and sign Omar Luna. I did win the AL East. That's excellent news. Let's delete some messages. And then we'll go up until the playoffs start. All right. So right away, playoff roster time. Guess who's not being put on the playoff roster? Micah fucking Burns. Guess who is? Jordan Diaz. I'm gonna go ahead and remove Went also, so that we no Everman, so we can have Corona Jr. back. Why are you uneligible? Oh, because you're not on the active roster, right? Let me go ahead and send him back to AAA, and then I can activate you. All right. So yeah, definitely Diaz and definitely Corona Jr. at shortstop. This is just, it's the playoffs. I need the kind of players that I can trust. Diaz and then Corona. And just in case, I've ignored this the entire season. Bench coach, go ahead and set me up here. And you do the same here, please. Yeah, I guess Santoya has to be benched in this specific scenario. Let's talk about how the season went, and then we will go from there. All right. Danny Moreno. Holy fuck. I'm just going to leave it there. Holy fuck. I expected that we would have an excellent player in you. I did not expect this level of play this quickly. I know you're technically not a rookie because you played too much last season, but you're everything I wanted in... You're everything that I wanted in a left fielder and more. Jose Santoya, my word, you continue to produce at a very high level, despite your ratings actually looking like they're decaying a slight bit. But you play solid first base, you put the ball in play, you get on base, you hit homers, you steal bases, you're a good egg. Bob Solis, I did not expect this from you, your first season. I love it, and I want to see more of it. Like, ooh. Between Solis and Moreno and Amaya, we have a shit ton of potential in the heart of our order. We had Chris Tharp randomly hit 46 home runs. I don't know how that happens, but it did. Doug Smart had a great season. Rushman had an okay season. This is probably just what he is at this point. And maybe that's okay. Maybe his overall talent level justifies him continuing to play. I do kind of want to get a better backup and maybe have that backup take a bit more of the load off of Rushman. But Corona Jr., I don't know what to do about you. I mean, if you'd played the whole season, it basically would have been your 2028 season, but I think I got suckered by your rookie year. And ever since, I've treated you differently than I should have been. What you are is good, but you're probably not as good as your big contract suggests. Whatever. And then everyone else contributed more or less. Grulon, I think you're probably done. I think, as much as it pains me, your skill set isn't one that's hard to replace. If I can pick up a solid first baseman, I might do it. Because you get on base and you hit for a little bit of power, but you don't hit for enough contact to make the whole package work. So, it is what it is. Amaya, there's no easy way to say this, you stunk this season. You adjusted very poorly to the major leagues. You did play pretty damn good center field. And so for that reason, I'm happy to have you on the team. Maybe temper our expectations a bit, and maybe, who knows, with a full spring training behind your belt and just more practice, maybe next season you'll be what we need you to be. So, amazing offensive performances. What makes me sad is this is going to be a bunch of players who are going to want all of the money in a couple of seasons. But, you know what? We'll deal with that later on. Yeah, this is a stupidly good core. And of all the players that played well this season, I don't know how to feel about Doug Smart. I'm just throwing that out there. It is not often with his profile that he would hit 297. And if he doesn't hit 297, he doesn't look nearly as good. But whatever. We'll take what we can get for right now. Well, you'd actually bench Tharp. No thank you. Tharp is my ride or die this season. Anyone who hits 40 home runs at 46 home runs at second base. That's granted all he did. And this is definitely telling me it's Victor Salinas' team next year. Because holy shit, that's not good. And I'm probably going to trade him. Look at his arbitration estimate. It's just crashed. You know what is a bat off the bench? I have no issue with Chris Tharp. As like a regular major leaguer, I have very big issues with him. But you know what? He hit well enough that I think he's earned some consideration in the playoffs. Okie dokie. Pitching staff. I will worry about that in a bit. There you go. Until next playoff round. Alright, so it's me versus Detroit. Detroit's got a real bad rotation, so that's great news. Let's go to a 3-man rotation. And it's going to be Leiter and Thomas for sure. And then I think Willett, unless Hendricks has a great track record in the postseason, which I don't think he does, but maybe he does. He was god-awful last season in the postseason. He's been good in the past, though. You know what? I'll let Hendricks be the number 3 starter. I think he's earned at least that much, and then you'll both be long relief. Hell, you know what? Let's just stick with a 4-man rotation. Like, Willett has been that good this season that I have no issue whatsoever with letting him be the true number 3 and then letting Hendricks fill in. Let's actually talk about the pitching staff. Jack Leiter was great. Uh, was he otherworldly like he's been in the past? Not quite. He didn't lead the league in strikeouts, which is sad. It's the first time since 2031 that he didn't lead the league in strikeouts. But his strikeout to walk ratio is still phenomenal. He's still a great pitcher. Chris Thomas has really come into his own as a number two, and Steve Willett's right behind him. He actually led the league in wins. Is that most walks? That's most walks. Maybe fix this a bit, please. But we got a lot of quality production from pretty much all of our pitchers, except for Herrera. But whatever. Alright, let's do this. Can we win another World Series title? Jack Leiter willing, it is possible. Or hey, Jack Leiter can be like, you know what, it'd be fun to just not pitch. That's a yikes. Is Leiter still hurt? Oh damn, if Leiter is still hurt, that's really bad. Also, what the fuck, Willie Moreno? Who the hell are you? Hitting 3 goddamn homers against Jack Leiter. That's not okay. I never said it was. He is not hurt. He just had a bit of a rough time. It's now knotted up. Willett gets lit up. I don't know how, but he did. It's not looking good, my friends. We have to basically hope that Brandon Hendricks can save our season. Which he didn't, but the bullpen did. Hirschhauer. Really? We're one and done because my closer fucked up? Jack Leiter still wasn't great. I wonder if he still has some kind of nagging injury. Because historically he's been a phenomenal postseason player. But yeah, this was not a good season for him. I can't even get upset. Like, I genuinely don't know what could have gone differently other than my rotation not crapping the bed. Okay, and Chris Tharp fucked up pretty big in a big defensive moment. Yeah, hitting 2 homers doesn't help when that's all you do the entire series. Yeah. So that's a lesson learned. Chris Tharp is no longer to be trusted with anything. And Willie Moreno was just stupidly good this season. I can't even get mad about this. Like, is he better than Danny Moreno? Of course he isn't. But he was still really damn good. So, yeah. No harm, no foul there. And Chris Tharp is now officially gone as our second baseman. Our everyday second baseman, anyway. Yeah, the Rangers won the World Series. Good for them. Before I do anything else, my dear friends, and before I conclude this episode, Salinas, you're on the 40 man. You've earned it. Congratulations. Anyone else I want to definitely add to the 40 man before I lose them? Rivera? mean, I have to because I don't want to lose him. But other than that, I wouldn't normally add him. Who is the worst player in my 40-man that's not a catcher? It's Winter Boyd. It's actually Horacha. Let's get rid of this jerk. I'm just going to designate you for assignment, so I don't have to deal with your shit. And then that way I can go ahead and put Hoskins on the 40-man. Rhodes on the 40-man. I think that's reasonable. I want to make sure that we have a spot left too in case there's another. Are you a left-handed pitcher? You're not. Okay. All right. Brandon Hendricks, my dude. You're gone. Rushman, you met your. And this is just an easy decision. Execute. I'm not letting Jack Leiter away that easily. Now, the $1 million question is, actually, the several $1 million question is, was Jack Leiter still injured? And if he was, is that why he pitched so badly in the postseason? I'm not giving you a raise. You haven't earned one. Let's talk at the end of the season, Rushman. I want to see if you're still playing at a fairly high level, and if you are, I might consider giving you a new deal. Okay. We've got contracts to settle. We've got decisions to make. And all of that will be for the next episode. Overall, let's be honest. We won almost 100 games, and yes, we went one and done in the playoffs. I think we could use another starting pitcher. Because I'm not convinced that the other starters we have are all that great. Like, let's be honest here. I've got Lonzon, who's probably overdue for at least an opportunity in the majors. He's had 3 seasons in the minors in which he's been perfectly respectable, if not exceptional. So Lonzon's probably earned a shot in the rotation, in all honesty. Bernal maybe deserves to be in the rotation. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Willett was good. Thomas was good. Leiter was great. But he is starting to slip ever so slightly. I'm wondering if part of his issue, though, is the fact he's a ground ball pitcher, and our second baseman last season was garbage. So maybe Salinas will fix that. I don't know. What I do know is that offensively, our team's future looks pretty damn bright. If we can get Diaz for a full season, if we can get Moreno to keep playing well, if we can get Amaya to improve, if Doug Smart doesn't decline too quickly, if Solis continues to be Bob Solis, if Santoya continues to be a top performer, we've got lots and lots to look forward to in the near future. Could we be better? Absolutely. Will we be better? I sure hope so. But that'll all be for next episode. I do hope you've been enjoying the series thus far. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.